good.
And here we go. The first time in a long time, the sensational Ramon Gonzalez comes to the ring as a challenger, and without a world title, the 48th ring walk for the once invincible-looking full-weight champion, nicknamed Chocolatito, of course. And at 30, big pressure suddenly on those formidable shoulders.
Yeah, there is, and one thing I'll be curious to see and interested to see is, you know, I know he's called for the immediate rematch, but how much hunger and desire is there still left for Gonzalez, having achieved what he's achieved, pound for pound, star, been performing at the highest level for so long. How much does he still want this?
Well, you can see how much the crowd actually love him, Gonzalez, and it could be on the flip side, Darren. That's what he might have needed to really get the best bet out of him again. He may have started becoming very comfortable within himself. We didn't see a great performance last time from Gonzalez.
And how far can Thailand southpaw Chocolatito Rungvisai go? He was good enough to cause one of the upsets in recent times 6 months ago over at the Garden when he dethroned Gonzalez. Can he carry on where he left off?
Yeah, that's another thing I'm interested to see, because coming from his background, he's a very, very, very poor, extremely poor upbringing. I mean, winning a world title must have been beyond his wildest dreams, especially beating one of the pound-for-pound leading fighters out there. So, will he go into this fight full of hunger, desire, or is he a fighter that's content? I'm going to say it is the first. I think knowing that he's a champion now, defending this title numerous times, can sort of take him away from the poverty that he's been brought up into.
Yeah, he definitely won't be going into this fight content. I think that now he'll realise that there'll be massive paydays on the horizon for him, and that was some entrance into the ring, wasn't it? I don't think I can remember anyone doing that for a while.
Chris Eubank, Prince Nassim Hamed had their own ways of entering the ring. That was a bit different.
Certainly was very unusual.
The main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Flyweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Tecate, Born Bold, the official beer of boxing. Chivas, win the right way. Cafe Agave, the adult coffee creamer. Fred Loya Insurance, put Fred Loya in your corner. M150 energy drink, and Canelo versus Triple G. See it live on pay-per-view or closed circuit Saturday, September 16th. This bout sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman John Carvelli, Executive Director Andy Foster. The World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman, pardon me, and Supervisor Tsuyoshi Yosakochi. The three judges at ringside, Steve Morrow, Jesse Reyes, and Alejandro Roshin. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Thomas Taylor. And now for the sold-out fans in attendance here at StubHub Center, Carson, California. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue with white and officially weighing in at 114.8 pounds. His professional record, 46 victories, including 38 wins by knockout. From Managua, Nicaragua, the challenger tonight, a four-time four-division champion, former miniweight, former light flyweight, former flyweight, former super flyweight, champion of the world, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing yellow and weighing in officially at 115 pounds. His professional record outstanding with 42 victories, including 38 wins by knockout. He has 4 defeats with 1 draw. From Bangkok, Thailand, the reigning and defending WBC Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Sri Saket Sor Rungvisai.
Nice, take the shirt off, collect the belt. How are you doing tonight, buddy? Boxer Chief second. Boxer Chief second. Okay, gentlemen. The belt line is good here. The belt line is good here. I gave you instructions in the dressing room. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. We've got a lefty against a righty, gentlemen, so I'm going to caution now. Watch the heads. All right, touch gloves. Back to your corner.
On this fascinating night of the Super Flies, we've seen the mini Mexican battle, the monster's reign extending now for one of the finest little men we've ever seen in Ramon Gonzalez, who sensationally lost his unbeaten record in March, albeit by a majority decision. Gonzalez aiming for revenge against Rungvisai Rungvisai, who's looking for a repeat and a 44th career win. Can't wait for it. And how emotional was Gonzalez at the introductions?
Well, yeah, we was just saying that, wasn't we? He looked like he was about to burst into tears. That shows you just how much this really means to him. And on the other side of the ring, Rungvisai, he looked like he's smiling. He looked like he'd won the lottery. He looked very relaxed coming in.
Well, he did win the lottery in March, as Darren was saying earlier, from a very, very poor family in Thailand. He used to walk 60 miles to his work. Incredible stuff as a teenager. And then he takes up boxing and he ends up at the Garden beating a living legend. You can't make this stuff up, and he'll be desperate to carry on.
Yeah, that really is a great story, and what a night that was for him and his family and everyone around him. And now he has a chance to capitalise on that and prove himself as a champion, try and earn as much money he can to provide for his family and give them an upbringing that he was unfortunate enough not to have.
Thomas Taylor
No cut. Guys, watch the heads. Watch the heads.
already said at the pre-fight introductions to watch the heads, the lefty and the righty. And remember, head clashes was a major issue the first time around. Gonzalez really troubled, and Rungvisai had a point deducted. Body shots from the southpaw.
Yeah, cautious start here from Gonzalez. Has taken his time, but those heads have clashed 2 or 3 times now. Gonzalez has to be careful of that.
They're also stepping on each other's feet as well. It could be a tangle at times, but there was some terrific action as well the first time they met. Many people felt Gonzalez deserved the decision. It didn't go his way. What happens second time around?
Well, you know what? I think styles make fights, and these two guys, their styles really gel well together. They both similar in style, both like to trade, both like to take centre of the ring. And we can see that here in the opening round, that both guys are trying to hold that centre.
The size as well of Sor Rungvisai, very apparent.
Yeah, he looks comfortable. He looks like he's settled quicker than Gonzalez, who, if I'm honest, Gonzalez doesn't look like he's settled at all. Rungvisai looking comfortable here.
Uppercut left hand. Gonzalez back with a right of his own. Yeah, it's a very steady beginning that from the new champion. The bright yellow and red in that red corner. Chocolatito Pitswinatan, who is the trainer of Rungvisai Rungvisai, the 30-year-old from Bangkok, defending this WBC belt for the first time against the man he took it off, the blue and white, the hero of Nicaragua, Roman Gonzalez, who's done so much in the last few years for the little men in boxing, a 4-weight champion, but he is up at the higher weight. He is possibly, some say, in slight decline. Or will this revive him, the defeat? Will he have knuckled down? And will he right what he believed was a wrong? And remember how tight it was in March at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, this is a better start to the second round here from Gonzalez. He's just finding the range. Good work on the inside, throwing those uppercuts nicely. And just stepping in with that right hand. The right hand is the shot for the southpaw, and he's landing that.
I mean, he looked unbelievable, didn't he? Until that fight in March. Sweeping through opponents.
You're right, he looks unbeatable, and sometimes, unless you're Floyd Mayweather or Rocky Marciano, Joe Calzaghe, you come up against someone who just has your number. And one thing I've noticed already halfway through the second round is Rungvisai, he looks confident, he looks comfortable, and I think he's really relishing being the champion, being the main man in there.
They so often rematches go the same way. Chris Eubank was unbeaten, wasn't he? And he went over to Mill Street, fought Steve Collins, who was the big underdog that night. He spooked him mentally, he took him apart physically, and then he did it again 6 months later. So you're right, styles do make fights, and occasionally there's just somebody who you can't really fathom out.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. But he's having these successes here, Gonzalez. He's starting to land that right hand. He's getting closer, he's getting in range. But is it a case with Gonzalez that he's just starting to look maybe a little bit old? Is the speed just starting to slow down a bit? I think we're going to find that out as this fight unfolds, but at the moment...
Good body shot there. He complained it was low, it looked okay.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it was on the waistband. Then again there, the body shot.
I think there was one or two eyebrows raised at Gonzalez on the scales, that maybe he looked a little bit fleshy. You wonder at this weight, at this stage of his career. And I'll tell you what, Rungvisai looks so up for this.
This is a great start to the fight. Really, really exciting stuff. Both men going for it. Both want to prove so much.
Yeah, neither man really stamped their authority in this round. It's been good trading blow for blow. Rungvisai is having his successes. Gonzalez landing some good right hands as well. Difficult round to score that second round.
Welcome back to StubHub, the fans here, and I hope everybody who's watching it through the night, the early hours, are enjoying the night of the Super Flies. We've had really intensive action. We've had a strange ending to the Mexican battle with the wrong scores being announced. We had the knockout power and quality of Inoue, and now we've got what looks like another really good fight. Second round was tit for tat, wasn't it?
Joe, I think I might be agreeing with you, Spencer, what you said in the last round. It may be a case that Gonzalez has aged overnight in that last fight, because if you compare him, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know he's a lot more older and experienced now. He's not going to be as explosive as he once was, but this really is a completely different fight that I'm seeing.
Well, he's just a bit slower in his punches, just look a little bit more sluggish than they used to be. I don't know if they carry the same firepower, but both guys trading well here. And
big shots, hooks, especially to the body, going in from Rungvisai, but Gonzalez trying to match him. Huge pride on the line. Gonzalez desperate to reclaim this world title. How brilliant he looked, destroying Valentin Leon, Edgar Sosa, Brian Viloria in 9 rounds, beating Carlos Cuadras before losing his belt. Can he refine the form? His place in history already assured, of course, being a four-weight champion. But the great champions can find that performance, can't they? They can dig it out.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, one that springs to mind is a guy who's fighting next weekend, is Saul Alvarez. He come up second best against Floyd Mayweather. But if you see the string of results that he pulled together since then, he showed the class operator that he is.
Absolutely. Good point, that, Darren.
Strip back, strip back.
Complaining about the heads, Gonzalez.
Well, he just seems a little uncomfortable in there at the moment, Gonzalez. Rungvisai landing some good body shots, but there's a good response from Gonzalez, and he needed it.
Yep, terrific combination from Roman Gonzalez, reminding us what he can do, putting the punches together. Back comes Rungvisai. What a fight this is turning into, and we haven't even had 3 rounds.
Great fight, toe-to-toe here. Both men showing so much heart and desire to win this.
Well, it's really taken off from where it left off in the last fight, hasn't it? I mean, the guys have just continued. You could have fought it in the phone box last time out, and the same is going on here. Neither man wants to give any space. Both are trying to take the centre of the ring. And what a contest we've got brewing here.
Great accuracy from Rungvisai to the head. Back comes Gonzalez to the body. It's toe-to-toe warfare. 9 minutes in. Cannot wait for the rest of this to unfold.
Boxing on Sky Sports, sponsored by Voltarol, the joy of movement.
Welcome to a brand new series of A League of Their Own on Sky One.
A League of Their Own is back in our biggest series yet. With more heavyweight guests.
Tony, it's okay. Stop talking to me, you're putting me off.
Bigger and crazier stunts.
Too much move, I can't.
And some knockout moments.
This show's come a long way since it won a BAFTA.
Brand new A League of Their Own starts Thursday at 9 on Sky One.
Smashing action between the super flyweight rivals. We thought it would be good. It might be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that both guys trading blow for blow. There's a lot of pride in there. Gonzalez wants to get that title back, but Rungvisai doesn't want to give it up. And do you know what? He's looking sharp here.
Level on Darren's card early on. Level on Spencer's card too. And they're pretty tough to score already, these rounds. A good start, no question, from the champion, Rungvisai. But Roman Gonzalez has put a couple of really nice cameos and bursts together. He just looked a bit tired when he went back to his corner in there with Sendai Tanaka, the great trainer who was part of Barrera's team, and he's down here. Gonzalez caught early on in the fourth. What a breakthrough for Rungvisai. And he shakes his head almost. He says he's okay, but the legs look very shaky. And Rungvisai could here be on the verge of a sensational repeat win. Gonzalez will need every bit of his experience to survive.
Yeah, massive right hand, left hook there and put Gonzalez down. He's going to need to dig right in here. And Rungvisai knows he's on the verge of winning this contest. And again,
he's down and surely out this time. It's all over. It's a huge win for Rungvisai, who destroys Roman Gonzalez. And he does it again. The southpaw from Thailand, but he does it with power. He did it with confidence. He believed in himself. And for poor Roman Gonzalez, the reflexes, the body, there was something not quite right. Darren saw it early on in the night in the changing room. He was full of emotion coming into the ring. It just didn't seem to be quite there. And it is a huge stunner as Rungvisai starts a new chapter in the super flyweight division.
Yeah, well, what a performance there from Rungvisai. He looked great from the opening bell. He looked the sharper of the two. Myself and Darren were talking about Gonzalez. He looked really emotional walking into the ring. When the first bell went, he looked like he was struggling to deal with the pace of Rungvisai. He looked slower, he looked old in there, if I'm honest. And I thought that the signs were there early that Rungvisai was going to win the contest, but Darren, no one expected him to win in that fashion.
Wow, I mean, that was spectacular. I mean, what a division this is. I mean, that was special. Yeah, I did see some stuff early on that I thought he didn't look right, but I mean, take nothing away from Rungvisai, that was a superb finish.
Nobody has ever done anything like this to the former four-weight champion. It was a controversial close defeat on points in March, and there's a bit of you that feels really sad to see him sitting up there on the canvas. He's been an absolutely brilliant advocate for the little men, for the lighter divisions, but he met his match, and it was a wonderful shot from Rungvisai and a brilliant finish. And it's hats off to the man that has climbed up from the most awful poverty to being a champion of the world and cementing it with that sort of display.
Absolutely great performance there, and unfortunately for Roman Gonzalez, and we say it, you hear us saying it time and time again, every guy gets old, especially the little guys. They get old overnight, and although he's only 30 years of age, he's won 40, he's had 47 contests, winning 46, and we just see him get old overnight.
And the emotions all round, the family devastated, and the fans silenced at the StubHub. He's on the stool, he looks okay, and obviously the most important thing is that medically everything is okay, everything is fine. It was a nasty knockout, and back on his stool. And what a stunner from Rungvisai.
Comes to an end, the official time, 1 minute, 18 seconds, round number 4. The winner by knockout victory, and still the reigning WBC super flyweight champion of the world from Bangkok, Thailand, Srisake Rungvisai.
The fighter from Thailand who lost his first 2 bouts by stoppage. Johnny Nelson lost his first 3. Bernard Hopkins lost his first fight. You know what? They come back. Amazing. Now Michael Buffer giving a round to Gonzalez.
Chocolatito Gonzalez.
A sensational sport, Spencer, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think that we've just seen one of the great champions passing over the baton to maybe a guy that's going to hold it for a long time. He's going to be difficult to beat. Rungvisai, he really is. I think he showed a great performance, showed the improvement from the last time he beat Gonzalez. They say winning a title builds the confidence, and I think we saw that there.
Then he'll probably fight Estrada next. You've got Inoue, you've got Cal back home. What a division, the 8-stone 3 boys. What about Roman Gonzalez? Would that be it for you, Darren?
Yeah, that's the end for him, I think.
On a dominating performance,
Max Kellerman,
and a brutal knockout win. There was controversy after your first fight. How did that affect your preparation for this one?
มีความรู้สึกเป็นยังไงว่าครับผมชกครั้งแรกครับผมไฟล์นี้ผมรู้ตัวว่าผมซ้อมมาดีมากครับผมซ้อมมวยมา4 เดือนเต็มๆผมให้คนไทยทุกคนครับผม
So I trained really hard for 4 months. So I want every Thai person to know what I came here for.
This is a huge event in Thailand, the biggest win and the most emphatic win in the history of your country's boxing outside of Thailand. What does that mean to you?
ผมทำให้คนไทยทุกคนภูมิใจมากครับผมแล้วก็คนไทยให้กำลังใจผมมากเยอะมากที่สุดเลยครับผม
I fought for Thailand for the pride of Thailand, for the country of Thailand, and this is what I dedicate this fight for, Thailand, the country of Thailand.
When I asked about your preparation and the fact that the first fight was controversial, were you determined to score a knockout in this fight, as you did, to leave no doubt that you were the better man?
ครับผมก็ไฟล์แรกผมรู้ตัวว่าผมซ้อมมาแค่2 เดือนแต่ไฟล์นี้ผมรู้ตัวว่าผมซ้อมมาไฟล์ที่2ผมซ้อมมา4 เดือนเต็มๆแล้วผมมั่นใจมากว่าต้องชนะน็อกแน่อยู่แล้วครับผม
For the first fight, I only trained 2 months, and then for this fight, I trained 4 months, and now in this fight, I knew I was going to knock him out for this fight.
I hate to see you train 8 months. Estrada is now your mandatory based on his big win tonight. We saw Inoue, the monster, look very impressive. What is your interest in fighting either or both of those guys?
ผมต่อยกับใครก็ได้ครับผมไม่กลัวใครทั้งนั้นครับผม
I can fight whoever. I'm not scared of anyone. I'll fight whoever.
Well, on 4 months training, if that's the difference, ooh, that's quite a difference. Jim?
What a performance. I mean, it's almost left us speechless, and what a night.
Yeah, what a great performance there, and I think we've seen the end of one of the great champions in Roman Gonzalez. He just looked a little old to me. There was something missing with him right from the opening bell. We thought, myself and Darren thought that he looked very, very emotional walking into the ring. He looked like he was about to burst into tears, and the emotion was seen funny through the fight as well. And here we see, right from the opening bell, Rungvisai was landing the sharper shots, the cleaner shots, and Gonzalez was really struggling to get off with any shots of his own. He looked like he was forcing the pace just to stay with Rungvisai.
It was crackling action, and then in the 4th round, this.
I mean, we talk about it is the end for Gonzalez. He didn't just lose, it was a crushing defeat. I mean, that was a massive, massive knockout. He followed the first knockdown up with an even better right hook, and what a win.
A sort of stunning moment, like when Roy Jones got knocked out by Antonio Tarver after their fight, and it was just a beautiful shot from Rungvisai.
Yeah, it was, and it was, and it was just the manner that Gonzalez got beat. It was not the fact that he just got taken out. He got systematic.